Hello everyone, in this video I'll be explaining you the problem total waviness of number in range 1. So this was asked in Leetcode contest Biweekly 170. So let's read out the problem. You are given two integers num1 and num2 representing an inclusive range num1 comma num2. So yeah, it is in the range from num1 to num2, both are included. So the waviness of a number is defined as the total count of its peak and valleys. So what are peaks? A digit is a peak if it's strictly greater than both of its immediate neighbors. A digit is a valley if it is strictly less than both of its immediate neighbors. So the first and last digits of a number cannot be peak or valleys. Okay. Yeah, it is obvious because first and last number does not have any. Let's say if you consider the first number, so it does not have any value in the left hand side. If you consider the case of last number, which does not have value in the right hand side, so yeah, it is quite obvious. So any number with fewer than 3 digits has a waviness of 0. It is obvious. I'll be telling on the board, don't worry. So return total sum of waviness of all numbers in the range 1 to in the range num1 to num2. So got it. So we have test cases, uh, multiple test cases, but yeah, let's take first test case from. We have a number from 120 to 130. So we have a num1 as 120 and num2 as 130. So the question what they've asked is they'll give num1 and num2. So we'll have to take the numbers from, let's say, num1 plus 1, num1 plus 2 up till this is num1 up till num2. So when you're taking these numbers, let's say your num1 number is something, it has certain digits, x digits. When you take that number as x digits, so let's say 0 digit, first digit, second digit, third digit, fourth digit. So these are some number, let's say 5, 4, 1, 3, 2, something. This is the number, and this is 0 digit, this is first, this is second, this is third, and this is fourth. So now if you see the value of leftmost digit, you cannot find waviness of this digit because you don't have any number in the left hand side. And same is the case of last digit, wherein you don't have any number on the right hand side. But if you consider the case wherein you have 4, so if you take 4, its immediate neighbor is 5, next neighbor is 1. So if you see here, um, if you try to plot in a graph, 5 is here, 4 is here, and 1 is somewhere here. So it will be this way. It is not a value or peak. But if you consider case of 1, so if you consider case of 1, so as you can see, it is forming a valley. Why valley? See, 4 is here, 1 is here, somewhere 3 is here. So as you can see here, your valley is found. So peak is this, valley is this. So this is one of the waviness you can take. So in the question what they ask is from num1 to num2, you'll have to see each number how many values are there, and total values you'll have to return. So and it is quite obvious as whenever a number is, let's say 10, 11, 12, something like that, 2 digit, you cannot find waviness, because if you try to find waviness of this, left hand side you don't have any number, but right hand side you have it. Let's say you try to find the waviness of right hand side number, I mean last digit, you don't have any number in the right hand side, so you cannot find. So waviness of a number having digits like 1, 2, I mean total number of digits lesser than 2 you cannot find, sorry, less than 3 you cannot find, but let's say we have 3 digits, then you can find it. So it is a peak kind of thing. 1 is here, 2 is here, 1 is here, so it is a peak. So I think you have understood now. How do you solve this? It is in always solving is a brute force only, because in the test case they have given the numbers are in the range from 1 to 10 power 5. So Since this one num2 are integers, so integer at max will have 10 digits, right? Not more than that. And you have num1 num2 ranging in 10 power 5. So if you multiply these two, it is going to be 10 power 6, so which is lesser than 10 power 8. So it will be O of n solution only. Like it is within range of 10 power 8, so that's why this brute force it will work. So how do you solve this? What we'll do is we'll take first number 120. We'll try to find the Waviness. For this number we cannot find. For this number we can find. Let's take answer variable, which is like calculating the Waviness. It is initially 0. So for 1 we cannot find, but for 2 we can find. It is lesser than. It is also lesser than, right? 1 is lesser than 2. 0 is also lesser than 2. So this is a peak. So 1 we have found it. For this we cannot find because we don't have right any number. Next number we are going to take is 121, right? And this is also a peak, right? So one more Waviness we have found. Let's take 122, and this we cannot find because they have said the neighbor should be strictly lesser than or strictly greater than. 123 also not, 124 is also not, 125 also not, 126 no, 127 no, 128 no, 129 no, 130 if you see, this is a peak, right? Again, because 3 is greater than 1 and also greater than 0, so 3. So for this number, I mean number range from 120 to 130, we have 3 as the answer. So yeah, we have it. So similarly we can find for this 4848 to 4848. So 4848 till 4848 is like only one number only. So let's take 48 and 48. So for this number and for this digit, I mean this digit, we cannot find Waviness, but for this we can. So if you try to take this 8, so it is a peak. So your answer initially was 0, this is 1. Now for this number also you can find, and this is a value because this number is lesser than both left and right side. So your answer is 2. So as you can see here, your answer is 2. So yeah, like brute force only I'll be doing in this solution. Let's try to code it up. So for coding, I'll be telling you basically how I'm going. I'll take one answer variable which is initially 0. I'll take loop and I'll call it as num, which will start from num1 because both are inclusive. Num is lesser than equals to num2. Since num1 and num2 both are inclusive, that's why this is the for loop condition. Now what I'll do is, since we need digits, right? So we have 10 digits, maybe 10 digits, maybe lesser than 10 digits. So first I'll take as the basically I'll take number, and from the right hand side I'll try to calculate the Waviness. Okay, when I'm trying to take the right hand side, so I'll call next as next as next I'll call 2 times. It will be initially -1, and I'll take one more variable as next, which will be also -1. Why I'm taking these two, I'll be telling you, don't worry. So I'll take a loop till this this number, whatever for number we are calculating, if it is greater than 0, which means we have certain digits. So I'll check if this next is -1. So in that case I will put the last digit from the right hand side into my next, that is going to be num modulo 10, right? If next is not -1, then I'll check else if this next is equals to -1. If it is the case, then I'll put as the last digit. Else I'll be doing certain things, which means what I'm doing is, see, we have a set of digits from the right hand side. First digit I put in next, okay. The next digit I have put in next, I mean from the right hand side, -1 that I'm putting, and then when I'm taking the one more value, so now we have got 3 values, right? In next we have one digit, in next we have one digit, and now in current I'll be having one more digit. Since we have got three numbers now we'll have to check if this the next value whatever here we have, uh, that is going to be the middle value. For that we are checking if it is waviness. Okay, so what we'll do is so if current is lesser than next and next is greater than next, which means we have found the waviness. Okay, it is a peak wala waviness. Okay, or what we are going to do is we'll have to find the value. So for that the next value whatever middle we have, we'll have to check with the current and we'll have to check with the next. So what we are trying to do is if current is greater than next and next is less than next, which means we have a value. Okay, if these are the cases, then waviness we have got. So for that we'll increase answer by 1. Let's try to take waviness only, not answer. uh, Waviness. Okay, so once you have found the waviness, if these conditions are not met, then waviness is not going to increase. But since we have last three digits, so what we are trying to do is next digit we will be taking. So the last next digit whatever is there, we'll have to remove that and we'll have to put into we'll have to consider the next value. So for that, what we have to do is in next your values will be next, and in next your value is going to be current. I think you guys have understood. So once we come out of the if else, then we'll have to divide the answer by 10. When you divide the answer by 10, the last digit is going to be removed. So once you come out of the loop, you'll have to return the waviness. Let's try to run it. Time limit exceeded. Just give me a second. Okay, let's debug. Okay, so we have nums, and every time, see, whenever we have this nums, initialization num1, and this the same num we are taking care while doing the calculation, so it is going to be 0. So every time it is going to initialize with 0. Yeah, like 0 and then 1 we have. So that's why it is not going to accept. So we'll take one more temp num to be num and wherever we have this num, we'll call it as temp num, because num will have to not work on that. Yeah, it got accepted. I mean, yeah, let's try to submit it. Yeah, it got accepted and it beats 100% of the user. So in this way you could have easily solved the problem. Since the constraint has range in 10 power 5, so these two for loops is going to take 10 power 6 operations, which is lesser than 10 power 8, so it is going to accept. So the time complexity of this is O of n into the maximum number of digits, you can say, or you can say 10 into n, and space complexity is constant. So yeah, thank you guys for watching the video.